Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of Grammar Compass. In our previous lesson, we talked about dependency grammar, where we established syntactic dependencies in English grammar. In this lesson, we are moving on to our second theory, that is, the phrase structure grammar. Let us talk about the objectives of this lesson. First, we will talk about constituents. You need the knowledge of constituents in order to understand how phrase structure grammar works. Secondly, we are going to talk about the phrase structure rules, that is, the general rule governing phrase structure. We call it the general rule schema. After understanding the general rule, then we will add more advanced rules to it. We are going to talk about the phrase structure rules for the noun phrase. After the noun phrase, we will discuss the phrase structure rules for the adjective phrase, and we will talk about the phrase structure rules for the adverb phrase. After discussing the adverb phrase, we will also talk about the phrase structure rules for the prepositional phrase, and after that, we will talk about the phrase structure rules for the tense phrase. Whenever you hear tense phrase, it is the same as the sentence, and we represent it using TP. We will talk more about that when we get to the tense phrase. After the tense phrase, we will also discuss the last phrase structure rule, that is, the rule for complementizer phrase. To master phrase structure grammar, there is something that you need to know. The reality is that you cannot cover everything in just a single video. So this topic is going to be broken down into sections. Each section is a build up on the previous section. So make sure that you do not miss any section for this series of lessons. First, let's talk about constituents. What is a constituent? A constituent is a group of words that function together as a unit. This means that if you see any group of words in a sentence working together to perform the same role, then we call it a constituent. For example, the student loved his syntax assignment. The student loved his syntax assignment. Can you identify the constituents of this particular sentence? First of all, the whole of this is a constituent. We are saying so because the whole of this is serving together as a sentence. So we would call it the tense phrase or the TP. Since this group of words is functioning together as a sentence or a tense phrase, we can call it a unit. However, there is still another question to be answered. That is, if this is considered a constituent, don't we have smaller constituents within this larger constituents? Of course, we have other smaller constituents embedded in this tense phrase. What are the other smaller constituents? Those are the phrases that make up this particular tense phrase. So can you identify the phrases in this sentence? Whenever you have a tense phrase, in phrase structure grammar, it consists of two main parts. That is, the part that constitutes the subject and the part that constitutes the predicate. The student loved his syntax assignment. Which part constitutes the subject? Obviously, it is the student. The student is serving as a subject. So it forms a constituent within the larger constituent, that is the tense phrase. Which other constituents exists in this sentence if we take out the subject? We can see that the predicate is also a constituent. Therefore, in phrase structure grammar, the largest constituent will be the sentence, that is the tense phrase. Then, the part that makes up the subject will be a constituent within the tense phrase, and the predicate will also form another constituents. If the student is one constituent serving as our subject, then loved his syntax assignment will be another constituent serving the role as a predicate. Now let us get more technical. If you want to represent the constituents, you do not call this subject in phrase structure grammar. No, the part that makes up the subject will be called the noun phrase. So if you are drawing a tree for this particular sentence, the whole of this is a tense phrase as you see over here. And as we said, every sentence or every tense phrase consists of two major constituents. That is, the part that is the subject and the part that is the predicate, starting from the verb. In this case, the noun phrase that is serving as our subject, the student, will be the first major constituent. And then the rest, that is the predicate, will be the next major constituent. We call the part that serves as the subject the noun phrase, NP. In phrase structure grammar, one of the two major constituents within the sentence is the noun phrase. That is the part that serves as the subject. What noun phrase do we have over here? We have the student. Therefore, if we break this noun phrase down, it consists of a determiner, that is the, and then a noun, that is student. It means that this particular constituent, that is the noun phrase, also has other smaller constituents embedded in it. So these are the smaller constituents that are embedded in this particular noun phrase. This noun phrase consists of determiner, the, and the noun student. So the whole of this is a constituent within the tense phrase. What is the other major constituent within the tense phrase? That is the predicate part. We call it the verb phrase. What are the minor constituents within this particular verb phrase? First of all, we have our verb, that is loved. This verb phrase consists of loved, which is our verb. And then, is it only the verb that exists in this particular constituent? No. After loved, we have a noun phrase, his syntax assignment. That is what the person loved, his syntax assignment. Therefore, we can say that the verb phrase that we have here, loved his syntax assignment, consists of a verb, that is loved, and then a noun phrase, that is his syntax assignment. Therefore, this major constituent, that is the verb phrase, consists of the verb loved and then the noun phrase, his syntax assignment. But the noun phrase is made up of some words together functioning as the noun phrase. They will be the smaller constituents of the whole of the noun phrase. If we break this noun phrase down, we are going to get the determiner, that is his. Syntax here is describing the assignment, meaning it is serving as an adjective. So we have an adjective phrase within the noun phrase. Therefore, this noun phrase constitutes an adjective phrase. And the adjective phrase consists of only one adjective, that is syntax. Apart from the adjective phrase in the noun phrase, his syntax assignment, we have the head word, that is the noun assignment. So this noun phrase has the head word noun, which is assignments. So the adjective phrase and the determiner are both modifying the noun. This is what is meant by constituent. It means a group of words that functions together as a unit. But remember that one constituent may be larger than another constituent, and constituents are normally embedded in each other. As we have explained, the noun phrase and the verb phrase are constituents, but they are embedded in a larger constituent called the tense phrase, that is the sentence. In the same way, the determiner and the noun the students, are also constituents that are embedded in a larger constituent, that is the noun phrase. That is the meaning of a constituent. This is one of the most popular ways to represent constituents in English grammar. We call it the tree diagram. But that is not the only way to represent constituents in a sentence. Apart from using trees, you can also use bracketed diagrams to represent constituents. Instead of representing constituents like this, we can use squared brackets to represent constituents. Let us see how to use that. Remember that we said that the tense phrase, that is the sentence, is a constituent on its own because the group of words that we see here is functioning as a sentence. Therefore, it is a constituent. How do we represent the tense phrase? Using bracketing. To show that the student loved his assignment is a constituent, we draw a bracket around it and then label it a TP. This means that we are done with the first part of expressing constituency using bracketing. So this bracket over here means that the whole of this is a tense phrase. Now within the tense phrase, that is the sentence, in the tree diagram, we saw that it has two major constituents, that is a noun phrase and then the verb phrase. Using bracketed method, we can represent the two constituents. This bracket is for the tense phrase. So let us represent the two major constituents within the tense phrase. That is the noun phrase part and then the predicate or the verb phrase part. We will draw brackets around the noun phrase to indicate that it is a constituent within the tense phrase. So we would have something like this. This shows that the student is a constituent within the tense phrase. What other constituent is found within the tense phrase? When we look on our tree diagram, it is the verb phrase. So in this, where is the verb phrase? Loved his syntax assignment. To show that it is also a major constituent, we will draw brackets around loved his syntax assignment, which is our verb phrase, and give it the label verb phrase, just as we did for the tree diagram. So this is what we are going to get. Now we have been able to identify the two major constituents within the tense phrase using the bracketed diagram. That is 1, the noun phrase, the student, and then 2, the verb phrase, loved his syntax assignment. But we are not done. We can see that the noun phrase consists of two other constituents. In our tree diagram, we said it consists of the determiner, the, and then the noun student. Therefore, in using bracketed diagrams, we need to also account for the constituents within the noun phrase and then account for the constituents within the verb phrase. So let us take that to the last step. Already, we have our tense phrase, our noun phrase, and our verb phrase. Now, let us represent constituency within the noun phrase. You can see that a bracket has been drawn around the to show that it is a constituent within the noun phrase. And then we have the noun head, which is student, which is also a constituent within this noun phrase. We are done showing constituency in the noun phrase. What about the verb phrase? In the verb phrase, when we check from our tree, we saw that the verb phrase consists of two major parts. That is loved, which is our verb, and then our noun phrase part, his syntax assignment. We can show this using our bracketed diagram. What we have to do is that we need to show that loved is the head word and it is a major constituent within the verb phrase. We will draw a bracket around loved and then name it a verb. Which other constituent exists in this VP? It is his syntax assignment. It is serving as a noun phrase. Just as we have here, we will draw a bracket around his syntax assignment to show that it is a noun phrase within the verb phrase. We would have something like this. We have shown that his syntax assignment is a noun phrase within the larger verb phrase. We are not done. Within the noun phrase, his syntax assignment, it was also broken down into other smaller constituents. We have our determiner, our adjective phrase, and then our noun. So we have to show this constituency using bracketing. Therefore, we will draw a bracket around his, which is our determiner, and a bracket around assignment, which is our noun, just as we showed the constituency over here. But we are left with the last constituent within the noun phrase, and it was what? An adjective phrase. This means that syntax over here becomes our adjective phrase. This adjective phrase that we have here, syntax, as we see from our tree diagram, consists of only an adjective, syntax. Therefore, within this adjective phrase, we have only one adjective, that is syntax. This is how to represent constituency using bracketed diagram. But let me ask you this question. If you were asked or given the option to choose between using the tree diagram and using the bracketed diagram, which one are you going to go for? Most of us will go for the tree diagram because it is easier to draw, and you can also establish the link between the constituencies very clearly than you can do with bracketed diagram. Therefore, in phrase structure grammar, the major way of showing constituency is by using trees. We are going to use trees to represent constituencies, but first we will have to learn the rules for all constituencies. See you in the next lesson. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, kindly do so and turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss the next upload.